Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this Ask the Expert session. Connect experiences across every customer touchpoint with a complete marketing solution. This is a continuation of the conversation we started previously in the breakout. I'm going to take a few minutes to walk you through how to interact with our experts, and then we can get started. Please use the Q&A chat box to ask your questions. We will be pushing the questions through once they come in, and our experts will be answering both verbally and over chat. Please be sure to use the thumbs up option if there's a question that you see that you want to push to the top of the queue. Also, we will be recording the session on the Microsoft side. It will be available on demand post-event. We kindly ask that you not record it on your side. Please help our moderators by not spamming the Q&A. They are doing the best they can to get through all your questions. And lastly, we ask that you adhere to the Microsoft Code of Conduct. It is posted in the chat and is here for you to review as well. And with that, I will hand it off to our team to get started.
Thank you, Sharon. Hi, everybody. This is Chandrani, and really excited to have you join us here. And thank you for watching the session earlier, which was, introducing the Microsoft Customer Experience Platform and a complete marketing solution for connected experiences. Before we go into the questions, there have been some questions that the team has received earlier, so why don't we address them first? I'll hand them over to our team. Before we do that, why don't we do a quick round of introduction for the folks from the product teams. Rich, can we start with you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Rich Labarca, and I am General Manager of our Customer Insights product, our CDP.
Thank you. William, you're up next.
Hi, guys. I'm Will Mahabati. I'm one of the product managers for Customer Insights and B2B lead. Happy to be here.
John.
Hi, I'm John Wheat. I'm a program manager on the senior program manager on the Dynamics 365 marketing and customer journey orchestration product.
Thank you, John. Anubhav.
Hi, I'm a program manager on Customer Insights, and I'm leading the consent enablement capabilities in CI.
Thanks. Smith, you're next.
Just like Anubhav, so I'm Smith Kodio. I'm one of the PM leading the effort for consent management capabilities that we are building for our CDP.
Brad.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Kurtzen. I run our customer advisory team out of engineering, working closely with customers and partners to implement our customer data platform.
Thank you, Brad. Mukesh.
Hey, everyone. This is Mukesh Poja. I'm also one of the product managers within Customer Insights team, and I closely work across the CI stack as well as integrations with Azure Synapse.
Perfect. And we have Tamut go Chandra and then Shruti, and then we'll get into the questions.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chandra Stevens. I'm the business strategy lead for our Customer Insights solutions and across our marketing stack.
Shruti, we'll close it with you, and then. Oh, I believe you are.
Sorry about that. It took me a while to unmute myself. Hey, everyone. My name is Shruti. I lead the product marketing for all things tech, so including Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. It's nice to be here with all of you.
Awesome. And we have Julia, Sharon, and Andy supporting the session. And I'm Chandrani, part of the Customer Insights product as well. So we're going to begin with some of the questions that we've received so far. Rich, why don't I start with you? The first question we have is, what other use cases are you seeing outside of activation into marketing and advertising channels?
So yeah, so marketing and advertising is obviously a very large component of the CDP value prop that's been emphasized over the past years, and we have a huge focus on that as far as our customer experience platform launch here. So lots to talk about around that. But the great thing about the way that we designed the product from the get-go and the way our philosophy towards customer data management overall is that it enables both customer value with customer experience as well as business value, where it helps you try to understand your customers for helping optimize your operational efficiency, helping you understand maybe what products to build or what services to offer, and generally just optimize your business using a centralized and unified version of your customer with the right consent management, with the right enrichment in place to do so. So, we do feel we hit both of those things, and our integration from customer insights built on top of Azure and Synapse allows you to run all of your custom data processing and data analytics workflows bespoke to your business, and then output that in whatever format you want to consume it. So we're very different than being a out of the box platform that's just sort of a self-contained CDP. We're actually a bunch of tools to help you understand your customers in a better way, and the customer experience platform with marketing and with Microsoft advertising helps you activate that in the customer experience fashion, and tools like Power Apps, Power BI, Synapse Data Analytics, all of those help you activate it in a business value type of way. So we have both angles there.
Thank you, Rich. The next one is, what do you see as the biggest challenges that marketers are facing today as it comes to activation and personalization?
Yeah, for sure, it's the changing of identity and privacy. Overall, every time we have a customer conversation, whether it's an existing conversation or whether it's new customers exploring our solution, inevitably one of the first topics that comes up is the changing face of identity, the loss of cookies online, and what should we do as marketers to help us achieve the goals that we previously worked so hard to build systems around to achieve. And it's a fundamental shift in the way marketers need to think about their relationship with customers and their ability to use data. Previously, you were able to build scaled marketing campaigns using potentially external data sources, but due to consent and due to privacy restrictions and the way that consumers are now taking back the ownership of the use of their data, brands have to reevaluate what that means, which is why a lot of brands are moving to this understand your own customer data and govern your data really well to change their approach from let's go and figure out and buy a bunch of data potentially to market against users. They're moving that to a world where let's understand really, really well how our own customers behave, and then create strategies based on prediction, machine learning, and consented data sources to give us those scaled plays that let us prospect for customers and bring them in. So it's really this data science and prediction workflow that we're trying to enable with the very responsible governance of your own data. The better you can do that, the more you get to live in the cookieless in the cookieless world. As we move forward, there will be identity spaces like the UID 2.0 being proposed and things like that to help you address people across the web. But those identity spaces, everybody has to remember, are based on personal information. So unless you have consented first-party personal information, these are not replacements for third-party cookies. In addition, with all of the proposals for cohorting, if you've heard about in the browser, whether it's Flocks from Google or whether it's the Parakeet proposal from Microsoft ourselves, these are really about using customer attributes in a privacy-focused way to try to help replace the idea of a third-party cookie. So the only way you can really utilize those cross-web and open web approaches to targeting well is by understanding your own customers, having your own relationships, and by understanding them well enough to create a strategy based on cohorting that can be applied across the web. And Customer Insights is the CDP, and our cloud for customer experience has that at the core. We're focused on on bringing those solutions to bear, as can be seen from the Microsoft proposal for that open specification for Parakeet, which is the cohorting specification across the web, and from our consent management, which was just announced today in the CDP. So we cover that spectrum, and we're here to invest with our brands that really want to bring that customer data to bear on the privacy first future.
Perfect. I think you also addressed the next question was, is there an additional value to the customer for using Microsoft advertising along with your CDP and martic? So if you have something else to add to what you already covered, that would be.
Yeah, so Microsoft advertising, and we also had it, if you saw in the video, Promote IQ. These are really unique and brand safe solutions to be able to be confident in the inventory you're using to deliver your advertising. It's great to have these sources, and Promote IQ is an incredibly unique source for bottom of the funnel retail marketing that I think is a really unique opportunity for retailers to provide that in-store experience where your product is seen next to adjacent products in a certain category. You can really deliver a similar experience with that retail marketing campaign that you can deliver through Promote IQ. That's a really great angle there. Microsoft advertising also has some very unique data sources, inventory sources that are really brand safe that I think can drive a ton of performance, and we've done a lot for our brands, and it's integrated directly into the Dynamics platform so that you can fulfill right from us into that platform and drive an optimization with them. It's fully connected. But I think the big difference too is that even though we do have inventory and I think we're a great place to do that advertising, we're also positioned to, and goal to helping you understand where to spend your money across the platforms. And that's the main goal of Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, the CDP, is to be able to help you understand where the best places to put your marketing and advertising dollars. When you add marketing into the mix, you then move beyond advertising, and you're also hitting your other touch points: sales, service, SMS, email, all of the things that really create that full customer experience. A customer experience is not just prospecting or advertising campaigns, and it's not just email campaigns. It's all of these things brought together to define sort of that personality that they feel your brand has. And that's why we love having Dynamics 365 Marketing's customer journey orchestration at the middle of this. When you bring data to the table with customer insights, and then you bring sort of the art of how your brand personality is reflected in that customer journey, when users look like this, or when we predict that they're about to do this, then bring them on this journey versus this other journey. These are really powerful ways to bring a personality to your brand and really drive that customer experience. And that's why we're really excited of having all of those touch points connected to that centralized version, bringing the art and science together, if you will.
Thank you. John, is there anything else you wanted to add from a martic perspective?
No, I think that was a great summary. I just see there's a number of other questions coming in on market to leads. Maybe I could address those real quick.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Great. So yeah, I see a couple questions on market to leads. So for those of you who don't know, we have introduced the ability to market to leads as part of the last release cycle in the real-time journey orchestration capabilities. So and I guess just to maybe step back for a second, I saw there was a question on this as well. Like, real-time is really about a customer initiated or a signal initiated journey that you leverage a trigger to start a flow versus a segmented journey, which now you can use segments in both, but to drive personalization and so forth. But a segmented journey is like an outbound journey that is set up by a marketer or a customer success, a business user, etc. And so those are typically timed from the organization outbound, where a real-time one is timed from a customer interaction as the starting place. Examples might be scanning a QR code, connecting to a Wi-Fi, might be a change in inventory or a cart abandonment in the digital use cases. And when it comes to leads, we have introduced the ability to market to leads as part of the last release. But only for the real-time journey orchestration side of things. That we will be expanding this. Right now, it's on the roadmap. I think it's going to be fairly early next year. I don't think we've locked a month, but it's probably going to be around the February or March timeframe to be able to do segmentation around that as well. So hopefully that clarifies.
Thank you. Thank you. Rich, there's a question around, is there a roadmap for using this tool using an account-based marketing model versus a lead-based marketing model?
Yes, there is, and you've led nicely into day 2 of Ignite, where we're launching our account-based marketing, which is led by William. I'll let William reply to that because this is his baby, and you know, we're really excited for this release.
Perfect, William, on to you.
Just give me 1 second. There we go. There goes my ghetto protection. So, Archana, can you please repeat the question so I can make sure I answer the right one? My apologies.
Absolutely. It says, is there a roadmap for using this tool using an account-based marketing model versus a lead-based marketing model?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we do actually have an on-demand session that talks about how customers actually can come in and leverage all the goodness that comes from an account-based CDP that we have just released, and it has had already has generated tons of excitement. So it is already out there. It will, you know, allow you to bring in all your accounts across, you know, physical, logical boundaries, create all the goodness that a CDP actually does, and be able to, once you have created all your unified profiles, create insights on top of all these, you know, unified accounts. Effectively, that's what they are. And we are also providing, you know, out-of-box AI/ML capabilities like, you know, churn model that will allow your sellers to be proactive in identifying accounts that would potentially risk churning, right? And then be able to bubble up all these, you know, insights into your systems of action where you run your own business. So yes, short answer is yes. We have plans to continue doing it, and the first step is already out there. We already GA'd, and we have a bunch of, you know, new features in public preview. So I can talk about this for hours. So
yeah, no, this is very
more.
exciting. So stay tuned tomorrow. We have a highlight in Charles Lamanna's keynote around WB Mason as one of our 10-post customers using these features. And stay tuned for a lot of really great releases around account-based marketing and things like deeper integration into the other Dynamics products that help drive these workflows. Yep.
Perfect. Another question, which probably is close to our hearts, is what would you recommend for a company that collected a lot of client data but did not really ask for consent? That happened because the country of origin because the country of origin didn't have any data privacy laws, but the company uses this data now. It has 25 plus 1,000 contacts. What should it do?
So let me start by saying Microsoft does not offer legal advice, and you know, so we're not able to advise you know, the specific actions being taken. But I would say that there is a combination of when you are a controller of data, when you control a data set, regardless of how you've acquired it, it's under your responsibility to make sure that you're acquiring it under the right terms and conditions for the jurisdiction that you're collecting and using it in. In fact, collection is one big thing and usage is another thing. So most of the time it requires a reassessment of that data estate and a recollection under the right terms generally. And you know, many companies are there to help you do that, including Microsoft is looking at helping, but we're agnostic to exactly how you acquire the consent. Our consent management in the CDP is meant to use any way that you collect consent to try to harmonize that in your data set. So yeah, so we can't give you that specific advice, but you know, when you have the correct consent and you're ready to use that in your data flows, we're here to help.
Thank you, Rich. Talking about data, there was another question that had come in earlier is from the session was, you know, what level of control do I expect to have on my data to make it work for me?
Well, you should have complete control of your data. That's our philosophy, right? And in the world of CDPs, you have a very big spectrum of the ways that you can interact with that SaaS provider, that service provider. We're working with some customers that have basically handed their entire data estate over to an agency who runs their entire processes around that data estate and provides a lot of value there. There are some who've developed some processes in-house and then hands that data to another party. There are some CDPs that are sort of single tenant, where even though you get access to a user interface based management of your data estate, it's not isolated to you and that company, and maybe their employees do have access to that data. I think it's incredibly important to understand that we designed our Dynamics platform with a multi-tenant architecture in mind, where we do not want access to your data. We don't get access to your data. It is your own data estate. Our job is to provide the tools to help you create that discipline of customer data management and understanding and customer experience, in your own company. If you would like to then add other consultants to that and agencies to help you manage that data, it's totally up to you. You give them accounts and they can come in and work with your own data estate. We can even set up exports and imports based on other parties that you're working with. We do that very frequently. So, but from the Microsoft side, we're here to enable you with tools and allow you to own your own data. That's part of the biggest message here with Customer Experience Cloud is it's your ownership.
Thank you, Rich. One more. How much data will the AI need to work properly? Phrased differently, will the AI functionality in the customer engagement platform be valuable for every business, no matter the size?
Yeah, so it's really about how the problems that you're trying to solve and the quality of your data. And we are working really hard to make it easier and easier to detect if the data that you're bringing in is going to add value for the models that you want to produce. Right now, if you look at the demo video that was shown before, one of the screens we showed our model quality screen. And the cool thing about that is our models grade themselves on how well they think they were able to feature match and predict. And we're very honest. We don't get A's all the time. We give ourselves B's and C's sometimes, and that's okay. We also give a very transparent view of the features and the reasons in your data why we chose certain predictions. So our philosophy, Microsoft's philosophy with responsible AI, is that transparency for all of our customers to understand why AI is doing what it's doing. It should not be a black box. And so I wouldn't say data cardinality is the major determination of if a model will work or not, but it's a combination of the amount of data and the quality of data, the consistency of data that helps get you there. And obviously our partners and our own customer success team is there to help bring people to the right level when they're trying to get to that. But we have customers that have found that success by themselves as well, and we're building tools that we're adding to the platform to help predict and clean the data in a contextual data prep sense to try to help bring in more reliable data for AI usage.
Hey, Rich, I wanted to add a little bit to what you just described.
Sure.
I think for
Thanks,
folks
Smith.
who are looking for kind of more on the kind of the guidance that we provide to our customers on our documentation websites, I posted a link to the chat here. So there's a minimum, for instance, if you want to use our model for predicting customer lifetime value. So we have a minimum at least of 100 unique customers, at a minimum, or preferably 10,000. And then the model will give you guidance, whether or not, you have enough data, either will give you an exceptions or something like that. So we have the guidance published on our documentation.
Thanks, Smith.
Thank you. And I believe there are a lot of questions, John, that you are going to be addressing in the chat. Do you want me to?
I'm working through them. I think we've got a few of the earlier ones. I'm just trying to go through and make sure we've captured them. Yeah, I've got a couple other ones I'm working on here right now. So just actually checking with a couple colleagues to confirm we've got right answers for a few of you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I think like there's one here. I see. When will we be able to use custom entity data as a dynamic value in an email? Maybe I misunderstand your question, but I believe that's fully supported today. If you're generating email out of Dynamics Marketing and you want to be able to use a custom entity, if misunderstanding, maybe send an additional question in that clarifies.
As I said, I think other than questions that John's going to respond to over IM, I believe that's all we have on this. Anybody in the team thinks there was anything else we missed?
No, I think this is a great diversity of questions. Thanks, everybody. We're here to help drive the future of I think privacy first advertising and marketing and customer understanding for all of you. We're definitely a set of solutions that work well together, but also work well with the tools that you already have. So hopefully we'll get to work with some of you or are working with you already, and the team's excited to engage. So thank you for watching, for being interested, and for asking some great questions here.
Thank you, Reg. And yes, thank you, everybody. There's more for you to continue checking out. Hope the slide helps, and please feel free to reach out to us with more questions.